Nice little group. Alright guys, today we are going to be reviewing the Griswold Cap and Ball Revolver. This reproduction is by Pietta, and it's not a perfect reproduction. As you can see by that cylinder band, it is in 44 caliber instead of the original 36 caliber. However, I went with the 44 for practicality reasons. We're going to be reviewing a lot of these cap and ball revolvers, and logistically it just made more sense to get it in 44. Now the only ones that I could find available in 44 were the Traditions imported Piettas, and like I said, you can see there that's a 44 caliber hole, and you can see there that it's also unloaded. So the modifications that I've done to this revolver are the grips. As you can see, all these Italian guns come with like a really red colored grip, and I've gone through and I've sanded all and removed all that red, and I've stained it in a more appropriate walnut color, and then did a boiled linseed oil finish, and then finished it off by polishing it with 100% beeswax, and that gives it a much more original look. So other than that, it's a pretty good copy of the Griswold. The Griswold's had the knurled hammer, so that's a little different, and as you can see, I have the Slicks shots nipples on there. They help with cap jams a lot. Being a brass framed revolver, you want to definitely download your loads. If you saw my other video, I have a navy brass frame. Now that gun I've had for a long time, and I've always shot full loads on it, and the frame just doesn't seem to stretch on that one, but I know that they're not all that way. Not the cylinders, they don't always line up perfect with the barrels, and what that means is sometimes you'll get a bit of dragging when the bullet goes through the forcing cone. So some of them will last longer than others is what I'm trying to say. Some of them you get a full life out of, some of them I've seen stretch pretty quickly, so it's just best to go with the reduced load. So anyway, enough with the talking. Let's go ahead and load it up. Here we have our powder measure. All you got to do is put powder into the measure, put this on half cock, and then you just drop powder right down there into the chamber. And we reach over here and we'll grab ourselves a wad, just like that, and then a ball. And then we'll disconnect the ramrod, rotate the ball around, and then seat. Hopefully this is done on camera. I apologize for the shoddy camera work. This is the first time I've done that on camera. So anyway, you do that 5 more times and it'll be loaded. Alright guys, now we're going to test the Pietta Griswold Cap and Ball Revolver for accuracy. As you can see by that steel target over there, from about 15 yards the accuracy is pretty good, but we've scooted up a little closer and we're gonna see what it can really do on paper. So we got a full cylinder. We're gonna shoot the top right target. Go. There's all 6. Let's go up and take a look at the target. So these 2 off to the right were definitely me. I was kind of getting tired holding it up there. There's my excuse for you. But as you can see, these cap and ball revolvers have always been known for excellent accuracy. They're really, to me, this is the most fun that you could probably have with 200 bucks. Most of these guns retail right around $200, usually out the door, sometimes $250. The cost of shooting these things, when you factor in the balls, the gunpowder, the caps, and that's if you're buying all of this and you're not making it yourself. and the wads. The cost of shooting is just over 40 cents a round, so it's slightly cheaper than 9mm, and you go through about half the ammunition. So a lot of fun to shoot, a lot of easy to get. In a lot of states they're not even considered a firearm, and just a lot of fun. So far the cap and ball Griswold has turned out to be a pretty nice piece. Let's shoot it at a water jug and see how it does. Alright guys, we're back here with the Pietta Griswold cap and ball revolver. We're all loaded up, and we got a gallon water jug down there. Let's see what the 44 caliber ball will do to it. It's not perfectly pretty correct. If it was perfect, it would be a 36 caliber, but close enough. Dispatched it nicely. And here's the water jug. As you can see, it opened it up nicely. Curious to see more splitting in the front than the back. The ball must have flattened out pretty quick when it hit that water. Alright guys, we are going to do some velocity testing with our Griswold & Gunnison. Now, some of you may know this is the featured handgun on the TV series Hell on Wheels. Now, in the first couple of episodes they actually used one of these repros, and then for whatever reason they switched to an 1860 Army brass frame. I don't know why they did that, especially when these are so available. But anyway, Cullen Bohannon goes around wielding a Griswold revolver for the first part of the series, and they throw the name around like it's some kind of a Magnum revolver. So down here we got the Crony. We're going to see what kind of performance we get out of it. My guess it'll be very similar to all other cap and balls, and the performance will be modest. Not that I'd want to get shot by a .454 caliber round ball, but I'm expecting between 750 and 850 feet per second. 771 feet per second. 786. 757. So just under 800 feet per second. Pretty standard for cap and ball revolvers. I know the 1860 Army gets a little bit better because the barrel is about a ½ inch longer. This is a 7.5. The 1860 Army is an 8-inch barrel. So like I said, it's not outstanding compared to today's calibers, but you certainly wouldn't want to get hit by one. It did the job back then, and it would today. Alright guys, we've had a fun day of testing and shooting this Pietta Griswold reproduction. Like I've been saying in the video, it's not a perfect reproduction, and that's a 44, but logistically that makes sense for me, doing a lot of these reviews. The originals would have been in 36, and Pietta does have the 36 caliber Griswold available if that is what you so choose to buy. So, but I really recommend this one. It's worked flawlessly. It's been very accurate. My impression of the revolver is that I really do enjoy it. It's quite a bit lighter than the full-sized 1860 Army. You can see the difference between the amount of metal there. So it definitely feels like it's more than a couple ounces lighter than the 1860 Army. So overall, I really do like it. These were pretty expensive to the Confederate government. This was, of course, a Confederate revolver. They cost $40 to the government, whereas the 1860 Army only cost the U.S. government about $12. So the difference was because the material is so hard to get in the Confederacy. They were always lacking in material because of the Union blockade. So hence the brass frame. One of the only revolvers that it's correct to have a brass frame on it. So, but even though it's a brass frame, the Griswolds had an excellent reputation for reliability and accuracy, and I could definitely see that. It's a good gun. So we're going to finish up by shooting these little steel swingers, and that'll pretty much finish out the video. Well, hopefully you saw some of those impacts through that cloud of smoke. That's just a something you gotta accept on these old cap and balls. But like I said, my impressions of this gun so far are all positive. If anything happens down the line, I will certainly let you guys know. But so far I can highly recommend the Traditions imported, Pietta produced cap and ball revolver. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you later.